Hello and welcome back. Let's take a look at these trig questions. B, with coordinates x and 5, is a point that lies on the Cartesian plane. It is given that OB is 13 units and angle BOX is theta. Use the diagram without the use of a calculator. Determine the value of x. So first thing I would do here is I would complete my triangle, like so. Now since point B has coordinates x and 5, it means that the y coordinate for point B is 5. So in other words, the height of this triangle is going to be 5, like so. Now what I can do, and what I recommend, is draw the triangle out on the side, like this. So we have our hypotenuse 13, we have the height as 5, and we have our unknown x. Now if we want to solve for x is going to be, can be solved using Pythagoras. So we can say that x squared is equal to 13 squared minus 5 squared. We can then simplify. X squared is equal to 144, and then x is then equal to the square root of 144, which is plus or minus 12. Now we need to decide on whether we're going to use plus 12 or minus 12. If you look at our diagram, point B lies on the negative x region of the Cartesian plane, meaning that we need to choose minus 12. So let's simplify this diagram, like so. And what I've done as well is I've included angle theta in our triangle because we need it for the next question. 2.1.2 reads, calculate the value of cos theta. Cos theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent to theta is minus 12. The hypotenuse is 13. So the answer is minus 12 over 13. And the last question, 2.1.3, 12 sine theta divided by cos theta. Now we can work out what sine theta is. We know what cos theta is, and we can simplify. So we're going to have 12 and then open bracket sine of theta. Remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's going to be 5 over 13 divided by cos theta, which we worked out previously as minus 12 over 13. Now we can't use a calculator, so we have to simplify this. What we can do is we can simplify the numerator, 12 times 5 divided by 13. And with the denominator, we can tip and times, leaving us with 60 over 13 times minus 13 over 12. We can then cross cancel and then simplify, leaving us with an answer of negative 5. Let's move on. The next part of the question reads, given that x is equal to 20 degrees and y equals 21 degrees, calculate the value of the following. Correct to 2 decimal places. If a question tells you correct to 2 decimal places, it means that you are allowed to use a calculator and you will need to do some rounding. So 2.2.1 reads cos of 2y. Now we can write it out like this. Cos of 2 times y, we know that y is 21. So cos of 2 times 21, which is the cos of 42 degrees. Now we put that in our calculator and we get an answer of 0.74. Next one, 2.2.2. Sine of x plus y. That can be written as sine of 20 plus 21. We can simplify. That's going to be the sine of 41 degrees. And using our calculator, that's going to be 0.66. Last one, sec x. Sec, and then x is 20 degrees. But we don't have that function on our calculator. So we need to use the reciprocal. The reciprocal of sec is cos. So 1 over cos. So 1 over cos 20 degrees. We can put this in our calculator and get 1.06. Moving on. Question 3.1. Without use of a calculator, calculate the value of sine squared 45 minus cos 60 plus tan 10 times cot 10. Now we'll start with sine squared 45. Sine of 45 is 1 over square root 2. So sine squared 45 is going to be 1 over square root 2 all squared. Then we'll move on. Minus cos 60. Cos 60 is minus a half. Sorry, cos 60 is half, so it's going to be minus half. And now the plus tan 10 cot 10. Those are not special angles, so we weren't required to remember them. So how do we solve it? Well, first we should expand the cot 10 or rewrite it. We know that cot is 1 over tan. So we can rewrite this as plus tan 10 times 1 over tan 10. We can cancel the tan 10s now, leaving us with just 1. We can then simplify. 1 over square root 2 all squared is a half. So half minus a half plus the 1 that was left over from cancelling leaves us with the answer of 1. Moving on, 3.2. Solve for x correct to one decimal place, where x is between 0 degrees and 90 degrees, if 1 over 3 sine x equals 2. So what we can do now is we can take the 3 across. So we take that 3 across, and we're going to be left with 1 over sine x equals 2 times 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, so we can rewrite this as 1 over sine x equals 6 over 1. Now, because we want to solve for sine x, we need to flip the fractions. So if you flip the fractions, we're going to get sine x is equal to 1 over 6. We can then solve for x. So using the inverse of sine. So the inverse of sine, 1 over 6, using your calculator, will then give you an answer of 9,59. Now, remember they asked for one decimal place, so that's going to be 9,6. And that's it for the trig section of this paper. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please leave a like, share, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.